Hey everyone, this is Relic,
And I'm Nagatron.
and we are watching Round 9 of the World of Tanks Classic League Season 1 on Fjords with Affirmative Action Alpha versus Siege Breaker. So let's get it going. Alright, starting out with Affirmative Action Alpha, we are running with 2 IS-7s, a Moss, 4 T-110s, a T-54, and an M4043 and Grill for artillery. So I'd imagine they brought the Grill for some kind of counter artillery. Pretty interesting setup they got going there.
Uh, in contrast, Siege is running 9 T110s.
That
No
may be the
artillery at all.
shortest call you've ever made. I'm not
As
quite sure what
far
they're
as
going to do
that,
with that.
as far as that grill goes, it looks like
Maybe
one of
cap
the
reset?
arties was tiered down to 7, and they brought in all the way down to a grill in order to make space for another tier 10. Whereas there typically be 6, they're actually running 7.
Ah, good
So
call.
I guess the decision there was either have a grill for cap reset and counter battery, or a tier 4 scout.
Which way do you think would probably be the better? Maybe going for 2 tier 2 scouts instead?
It's possible. The grill isn't going to do anything in this round against T110s, except for maybe track something, do some critical damage to a module, or a reset. So, I mean, in hindsight, I'm pretty sure they would agree that a scout would have been better. But had siege breakers here brought any artillery at all, then it would have been probably a better call than a tier 2 scout, or 2 tier 2 scouts. Um, I'd say probably the best all-around decision, though, especially considering they already have one tier 7 arty, would be to have some sort of scout, some sort of tier 4 scout, probably a T50.
Ah, very true. T50 is still pretty agile, not as good as the T50-2, but it can definitely get the job done. I think they're definitely playing it smart right now. They're probably expecting a full F-line push with all those T110s. And so holding back on that hill, they'd have a pretty good chance of stopping anything, and they could probably roll down off of the A line to get to their cap if they saw enough tanks. But at this point, from what we spotted, we know there's at least, what was there, 1 or 2 T110s at the top of their base there?
Um, to be honest, it looks like all 9 of their T110s are piled behind the 3 line and the 4 line, behind those hills that are there, or mountains, I guess.
Oh, it might be a good thing to point out. We are running this at times 2, so this M4043 is not actually crazy fast.
Speed hacks.
I'm sending an email to Lord Farquaad right now.
So we know we've got 2 T110s behind that northern hill, at least one? Or did we see 2 behind the southern hill as well?
I think I only saw 1 down there. Looks like they're trying to poke to maybe get a little bit of hit points off him, but he is not relighting.
At this point, it's pretty safe to say that Siege is intending to turtle this time.
This must be another one of those tiebreaker situations where, again, we're on the 2 side, and people just really do not like the 2 side of Fjords.
While I haven't had time to go through it this week, 2 weeks ago, I think was the last time I did it, and they were very close, if not tied in points. I remember that off the top of my head, but I don't know what's happened since then. So, judging by the behavior, I would say they're probably close enough to where this is at least affecting somebody's chance at the wild card and thus the playoffs. So maybe a draw for Siege means they are in a better position for playoffs, and that's why they're going to go for it rather than risking the chance of a loss. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, that's true. I know we had a
Unless
few
they're
teams
flat
that
out
were.
that is.
Yeah, I think we had a few teams that were just 1 or 2 points away, and it would again be a big change. Well, obviously, it'd swap who was actually going to be the division winner at that point. Luckily for both teams, when they're so high on points anyways, they're likely going to get that wild card spot. So it's not going to be a huge deal other than the we won our division type of bragging rights. Looks like we have a big push around that C2 hill. There's at least 5 tanks. Yeah, good move
So
bringing the artillery down.
you can see that AA managed to spot where the majority of the T110s were, realize that they're not going to be pushing the south. So now they're just taking their time, moving artillery into position, moving the rest of their tanks into position to get a nice sandwich. Although, actually, right now they're starting to force the issue.
They only have a minute left to get anything done. I don't think that's going to be enough to take care of those hit points.
Can pretty much guarantee you it won't. T110s have very nasty fire rate, and by that I mean it's a very good one. But even still,
Digging out 9 T110s, not going to really happen in that time frame. Just 20 seconds.
it's just an illustration of how important time management is.
Oh, there we go in a draw. Well, good fight, guys.